Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Mm, mm, mm. Am I ready for tomorrow? I hope so. Mm, 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 mm. Wait, do we get the Trailblazer quest tomorrow too? Or just Robin and them? We'll be getting the new story quest too? Sheesh. I am definitely excited then. I am definitely excited. What? And we get the harmony. Sheesh. You need two break effect ropes. I hope we get them. Alright, all my tags should be saved. Did it update my thumbnail yet? Alright, I just refreshed the tags and everything. Everybody refresh the page if you are watching. Just in case so you don't experience any issues. Alright, everything's set. I'm going to play with music and I'm gonna make me some gamer subs and then I'm gonna let you guys kind of help me choose which video we're gonna be watching first. But I'll be right back. Alright. I probably will not be rolling at all. I'll be collecting my stellar rates and going on about my life. All right, so here's the thing. If you guys did not see on the channel last night, you can't really see it right now currently. Can I turn it sideways? I cannot. Anyways, I updated. If you guys do give a fuck, or if you guys are bored at night, you want something to watch, or you're farming on the side and stuff like that, I have left a playlist of pretty much every VOD that contains any form of a um Trailblazer quest and like just me playing through it. All of them are located in this playlist right here. This one right here. This one. All of them are here. Literally all of them. But anyways, I have a playlist that I made of a bunch of stuff to watch on stream today, right? Before we start doing any games or whatever. Obviously, it's not gonna look like this the whole time, but we have a bunch of Weather and Waves content to look at, and we also have some meme stuff to look at as well, in the sense of just a couple of stuff that I just wanted to look at, and then I also have some theory crabs that I started watching, and I was just like, damn, these are interesting. But anyways, we are gonna be watching some of these on just in general on these, and I kind of wanted to get a understanding because some of these videos definitely contain some good information about just some of the characters coming out in general, right? So we're gonna probably start off with X Slice's video, just because Slice typically does a good in-depth review of games and stuff when he plays them or when they play them, and I've watched a couple of his videos before. We're gonna be checking out his, I guess, takes on it because he's played it for yo. He's played it for quite a while now. So we're gonna be checking out his video on this. So let's see what he's talking about. Do I need to adjust? I probably do need to adjust. Wait, I can pinch and zoom? You're fucking lying. That's even better. Wait, why is it so fucking ass quality though? Type shit. There we go. Actually no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna probably pull it like this. Wait, can I see it on my screen? Can't. I mean, I guess we could play it like this. We're pretty much just reacting and watching it. But I am curious to see because, like I said, I've been kind of like keeping myself kind of like away from a lot of the information just so I can kind of like experience it with you guys because we are going to be playing the game on this channel. And I'm hoping that you guys in chat will also be downloading the game, or those of you who see this video after the fact will be downloading the game as well and coming to join us in the community to come play the game. But anyways, let's check it out.
So I've been playing the second closed beta of Wuthering Waves for a solid 25 hours now, and wanted to share with you my honest review perspective on the vast majority of its features. As a quick disclaimer, because this is a closed beta, all features talked about are subject to change upon full release. The game itself is an open-world action RPG combining elements of many popular games you may be familiar with. It sports Genshin and Tower of Fantasy open world and exploration vibes, Punishing Grey Raven Perfect Evasion, Honkai Impact QTE, Honkai Star Rail
I pre-registered too.
an Abyss equivalent, a
I'm gonna close this out.
system, and even more that I may not have mentioned.
That's another thing that I'm really excited to do with y'all, right? Is the fact that like the co-op in this game is going to be so fucking like fun to me. Theory-wise, is it like not theory-wise, but just like I'm theorizing like all the stuff that we can do, like some of the stuff we can do in chat, shiny hunting, like And I'm hoping that like capturing echoes isn't like restricted in some shape or form, right? In the sense of like say today, right? Like say today if I had an off day today, right? And we were getting on Wuthering Waves right now, right? Let me paint the picture for you, the beautiful picture. We're hopping on Wuthering Waves. Everybody's like, yo, you wanna go, let's go farm some echoes. We all got our favorite characters out. You know what I'm saying? We squatted up. We're sitting on top of the mountain. I'm picking some good music to start us off to. We're jumping off, we're gliding. The thing that's gonna kill that vibe is if we can only catch about 5 echoes, or if a certain amount of echoes can be caught a day, or like if echoes are tied to energy that you have to recharge and stuff like that. And then on top of that, I don't even know about, like, I'm hoping that a lot of this is going to be explained in the video. Things that I'm looking for to be explained in this video are pretty much going to be how the energy system works. Does it overcap? If there is an energy system, are the resources to refill your energy bountiful? Whether or not it's pretty free to play, because I do kind of want to start a free to play journey and kind of build up an arc to see if it ever gets broken. Um, let's see other things that I'm looking for. There's just so much that I'm looking forward to be explained in this video.
Systems will come naturally to you and boost your overall enjoyment because it's easy to get into. And to tackle the elephant in the room, let's just get it out of the way. Is this the Genshin killer? Well, let's be honest. The only thing that could really cripple Genshin now is itself and its community. Genshin's rise to fame was at the peak of COVID lockdown, and it's incredibly hard to reproduce those perfect conditions to have a game similar to it explode in the same or greater amount of success.
No, I didn't get to experience Genshin in COVID days. Did any of you guys start out Genshin when it first came out? Because me personally, I didn't have any devices that were compatible with Genshin at the moment. And when I did have a device it was something I was using for work or school or anything the above other than streaming, right? So I never got to experience that, you know, that era of prosperity when like everybody was on Genshin. And the main thing that I'm excited about more than Waves, and we are going to be pausing because I am going to be making some points and stuff like this, but the main thing that I'm looking forward to in Wuthering Waves is the being there at the start meta, right? Fantasy Star Online, I made a video on that. You guys can feel free to go check it out. I spent a whole year killing 21k enemies for a fucking weapon camo. Go check that video out. But long story short, I showed up to a lot of these games like late, right? Where people had already grinded to max, they were waiting on new stuff, or the game had already been out for a year, or something like that. This is gonna be one of the very first few times where I'm gonna be implicating myself into a community and a space that's gonna be right off the rip, right? So this is an opportunity for like not just us to grow in general as like a community, but also for another game to like come out and give people something to fucking do and like come together and like hang out. You know what I mean? That's another thing I'm really looking forward to.
Wuthering Waves does execute every part of its game perfectly.
I want her so bad. I'm picking her as my first 5-star. I don't give a fuck if she's good or bad. I'm picking her as my first 5-star. She's so fucking cool.
I hope this game is successful on launch because it ramps up gameplay and combat to an exceptional degree, the same way punishing Grey Raven did for mobile games. And competition in this open world action RPG space is more than welcome. Let's all pray the developers go as hard as possible in marketing and advertising its official release. And so, while I may reference some Genshin features in this video because they help with formulating the overall review, and give you guys
he looks pretty cool.
Comparison, we will keep the
she looks
Genshin
sick.
does this, Genshin does that yapping to a minimum and review things from my objective experience with the game. I want to be as productive as possible and provide my feedback on what's solid and
perfect. I trust X-Slice on like
recording this review, which is only about
point of views stuff. Watch a lot of his videos.
Progress that I achieved. I reached level 31, which is
I'm gonna be rocking 4 stars and use my pulls on the best support so I don't waste my resources. Here's the thing. I'm going to play until I get her. And then after that, we're saving. We're saving. I'm playing until I get her. And probably her weapon. And then I'm saving after that. No, I'm playing until I get her and her weapon. And then after that, we're saving. Because like I said, I want to enter my journey as free to play for this game. And I want to see how far we can go before we break it. Like I want to be like deep into the game. Because mind you, there's gonna be this is gonna be an opportunity for like especially everyone in chat too and everyone watching this video after fact. There's gonna be an opportunity for you to get on the game early. It's gonna be like if you didn't get to experience Genshin off the release and be able to obtain a 5 star, one of the standard 5 stars with that being, and you know, just growing your account or re-rolling your account until you got that like standard 5 star, and then just starting your journey and being and keeping that account 6, 7, 8 months all the way to the first year anniversary. This is gonna be your first opportunity to do that,
About
especially with this
equivalent
game.
to AR-45, I've experienced the endgame gear farming for Echoes, I've tried the Abyss equivalent, which is Tower of Adversity, I've tried
Okay,
the Simulated Universe equivalent, which is the Elusive Realm, and I've attempted up to difficulty 4 of the hologram bosses, which are normal overworld bosses on steroids and have fight scenarios reminiscent of a Souls-like game. For these
interesting.
beefed up bosses, which are holograms, taking 2 to 3 hits is fatal, and their moveset requires anticipation, reaction speed, and split-second decision making. So
I am
in its
looking
current state, I
so forward to this. I am looking so forward to this because, like, bro, I played my first Souls game this year. I don't have any videos on it. I did a streaming series on Twitch a long time ago for Elden Ring. And let me know if you guys want me to like restart Elden Ring and start to do a series for it or anything like that. Especially like in the future, like not anytime soon, please. No. But long story short, um I got into my first Souls like game this year, Elden Ring. Love the fuck out of it. I love the trial and error in building up fail stacks. And if you guys don't know what fail stacks are, is when it's not really an actual thing, but the way you can perceive it is a very real thing, right? Fail stacks are basically trial and error. You fail a number of times and you learn from your mistakes, and then you progress forward, right? So games that let me build up fail stacks, especially game modes like Pure Fiction, Mirror of Chaos, Golden Gears, stuff like that, where you have to keep trying until you can find a formula to progress or just achieve in general. I really like that concept. I really, really like those. And it just depends, like, because like if you're not in the right headspace, obviously those type of games are not gonna be for you. Or if you're not used to those type of games, it's gonna be difficult when you first try it out. But it's a learning experience, and then on top of that, is you're gonna be able to play with friends and learn over time. So like if you guys start playing Wuthering Waves and you are not able to beat it, it's okay. Please do not do like an Elden Ring. Excuse me. This is one thing I really want to make sure gets across, right? And I don't give a fuck how small my channel is. Like I hope people see this video and they're able to get like a good concept and understand where I'm coming from. But if you are an Elden Ring fan, you know where I'm coming from when I say this, right? So the big thing is, yes, dodging is your best friend. One, dodging is your best friend. Two, right? When Elden Ring came out, Radon, Melania, and I think another boss got nerfed, right? Now, mind you, Souls-like games, from my understanding and from you guys' understanding, I'm assuming, right? They're supposed to be fucking hard. That is their thing. That is their niche. They're supposed to be hard. So tell me why, when Elden Ring came out, we had a situation where people complained to the devs so much about the game being hard that they had to nerf some of the bosses. That's one thing I have never heard of in my entire life. Because back in the day, bro, when they released hard copy games, it was fuck you. If you couldn't beat that shit, fuck you. You better learn how. Get better. It was skill. Like it was trial and error. Like nowadays, bro, like especially with games being online, like and they can just like, patch things up. Like, bro, that's one of the things that really like I'm hoping that doesn't happen in this community for this game is that people don't sit there and bitch about how hard the game is in certain levels when that's the whole game's one of the game's niches anyways. Like if a game has a niche for something and you go and play it and don't like it, why the fuck would you go, like rally up people to go change it? That's the one thing I hope I don't understand. I hope people don't do that shit.
experienced nearly all of the features of the game and bashed my head against the most difficult content of the game that I've personally tested out. You can
Facts.
expect this review to be broken down into multiple sections, but as a disclaimer,
Oh, we're
I'll
gonna be here
place
for a minute.
heavier
All right,
emphasis
let's get
on
it.
combat, gearing, and the grinding aspect of the game, and less on the lore, world building, and aesthetics. So expect each section to be longer or shorter accordingly.
Slice and Dawn makes some good content. No, this is going to ruin my video, bro. I need to get YouTube Red, dog. Look, well, chat, look. People are here. Every time we get an ad, I just want y'all to spam sponsor, right? We don't have a sponsor yet, but every time we get an ad, I want y'all to spam sponsor until we get one. This is just for future reference.
The first major thing you'll be exposed to are the graphics, sound production, music, and the features of the UI. Graphics are very solid and aesthetic, but heavily gray tinted overall. I expect this is to achieve an overall gloomy, post-apocalyptic vibe.
Just like that.
This makes exploring the world a bit dull and cold at times, and makes each area feel a little too similar when they're evidently supposed to be different. Probably the feature people will most be excited for are the FPS options. In Wuthering Waves, you can set FPS to 120, and it does
120?
For a game focused heavily on combat, this is a huge positive and definitely would be highly requested if not.
I don't even know if I play Genshin and fucking Honkai Star Roll on 120, dude.
Feel like a big oversight from a development standpoint. The range of graphics rendering and resolution is also.
Please, for the love of God, let this mobile compatibility be for controller support. Wait, question. I know no one knows, but can someone research and see if the mobile app for Wuthering Waves will have controller support? Just some homework, please. Thank you. And even if it's not today, just let me know in Discord, because I really need to know.
You'll definitely be able to find a balance for your PC, and make sure to.
It has controller support. Oh.
And long playtime exposure with that will probably make you uncomfortable. Overall, 120 FPS option is king. The settings have.
Like, I am full registered, right? We're gonna be watching the other video that you were talking about earlier. I did see your point about the free Pokemon or the free Echo. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Beyond just bass heavy EDM. While EDM is the BGM favorite of basically every high intensity.
By the way, if you are enjoying the stream, make sure you do leave a like for me. We're gonna be sitting here reacting to some Wuthering Waves content today for a little bit before we play.
To give you a contrast between ambient exploration, where background music is much more peaceful, and then switch into something with higher BPM and a deeper beat to indicate that you are in battle. Almost like a fight or flight response, so to speak.
Interesting.
For music, I think the best way to convey the experience is for you to listen to it. So here are two small snippets of tracks, one more peaceful and one more aggressive.
Okay, we about to hear some bangers?
During combat itself, the sound indicate perfect.
Wait. I didn't mean to do that. Go back. That song sounded like it was gonna be gas.
Legend has it. Almost like a fight or flight response, so to speak. And for music, I think the best way to convey the experience is for you to listen to it. So here are two small snippets of tracks, one more peaceful and one more aggressive.
Bro, all right, so that little, I'm gonna go try to find that song and listen to it, because that song sounds fire. Like, I like music like that. You put your own hype music. Here's the thing: when it comes to like games, there's some games that have very good music. Scarlet Nexus had good music in the background. Dokkan has decent music, right? Niche music. Honkai Star Roll definitely has good music. Not everywhere, but it definitely has good music. But if there's gonna be music like that playing for boss fights, I'm in. I'm 100% in.
Parry, QTE, and indicators for your abilities are all pretty solid. I think for
I'm curious on how the QTEs work though.
Is typically used in anime.
Is it just after dodges or like certain breakpoints?
But personally, I like their choices, and I feel the base structure is solid enough to have generally good impression for most players. Sound design in this aspect is, in my opinion, one of the features that, if done really well, will
that fucked my whole ratio up, by the way.
If done just okay, won't be really noticeable, kind of like an afterthought, and if done poorly, will be very noticeable and complained about. Given that Wuthering Waves is developed by Kuro Games, which is also responsible
I'm just leaving here, fuck it.
PGR, sound design for combat, in my opinion, is in good hands. PGR has some of the best combat sound design for a mobile game. Overall, they don't need to impress with the sound, but if they do, People will notice, and I think it'll drive additional attention for people just to experience the immersion. I think in
They
this
pop it into a
era,
small attack
sound
and
production
leave.
is such an essential part of both
See, I've never
marketing
played
and
Punishing Gray
gameplay
Raven. Should I
experience,
try it
but is
out?
often not given enough credit. In the previous CB2 trailer they produced, in my opinion, their use of sound production to match each section of footage they were aiming to present was an integral part of the selling point. Next up, UI. So Wuthering Waves UI did not stand out, but this can be viewed both positively and negatively. The structure strongly resembles the interface of Genshin with Tower of Fantasy font, which is able
It's
to
really
achieve
fun.
familiarity with players of these communities. It's easy for them to recognize, and it's a reduction of information overload, but it also lacks its own identity. So my personal preference generally views this positively because I'm more logical and functional, so I value the familiarity to make my rush to endgame more efficient. It's a smart choice in my eyes, but that doesn't mean it isn't a lazier approach. A trade-off between time spent
We
and
might try it out
value
this
is
weekend.
probably
Low
the
key.
best way to describe it. So UI elements can be unique and silky smooth and have its own identity, such as Arknight's Enfield's UI, but also would require much more creativity and innovation that maybe developers would not want to use resources on. So this one's up for grabs depending on your preference. I think it's okay for developers to take what they found successful from other games and improve on top of it to create what they want.
For sure.
Most of the gacha sphere uses
For
this
sure.
ability.
I agree with that because like for instance, Power World, right? They took the whole concept of Pokemon and went their own route with it, killed it. Yes, they have fallen off quite a bit, is because they're taking 29 fucking centuries to release the actual fucking game, like fully. But other than that, when Power World came out, like they did it right. They took the concept of someone else and they tried to redefine it to a certain degree, and they did. So like there are a lot of stuff that I do like in Genshin, right? Not trying to say if every game took a lot of qualities that I like in Genshin and put them in, it'll make me play them. But what I'm saying is a lot of the qualities in Genshin I do like, but there's a lot of qualities I don't like. So if this game is taking qualities I do like and then they're doing their own qualities, which I might end up liking, then that's just a double fucking. They took two birds out with one stone. They did their own thing, they put their own spin on it, and then on top of that, they took what was already there and just refurbished it basically. And then, like I like that. I'm here for it.
Structure of UI and then adds artistic expression for the design of the game. No real difference for Wuthering Waves. It does have its own feel when browsing through menus, traversing dungeons, upgrading characters, fighting bosses, but the base template is still there. Overall, it's nice, but nothing stands out.
It's
And there
ending
are still some
tomorrow.
technical
Sheesh.
nuances that need to be smoothed out. Clicking actionable buttons sometimes has a noticeable delay that could be shortened. Transitioning between scenes is sometimes clunky and awkward with weird pauses, etc.
I'm pretty sure
These
most of
small
that'll be
things
fixed
don't
though.
really take away from the experience though. They're just rough edges that I expect to be smoothed out on a full release.
Facts.
Next up, story. So currently the story is only voiced in Mandarin and the VAs are pretty nice to listen to. You'll probably hear familiar voices from games you've played before or anime you've seen before. Expect the other languages to appear on full release.
She looks
Because
sick too.
I personally intend to play Wuthering Waves
The chick with the
full
baronet
fun
hat,
gameplay,
the
I do not really
blue one.
pay much attention to the story. It does have voice cutscenes.
The chicken in white looks sick
with
too.
characters and so forth.
Their
This
character
is
designs
what
look
you'd expect.
fucking good. Why
But
are people?
CBT
Why were
2,
people
I'm
hating
not
on them?
fully diving into the game, and unless there's talk around town about it, I'm not going to pay too much attention. It's not that I don't care about the story, it's just that I care a lot more about their main selling point, which is combat, and it's the primary reason why I'm interested in playing. I
Facts.
have heard from some of my friends that they did significantly improve this story from CBT1, so take that as you will. For this reason, I don't feel qualified to make a judgment on the story, and it won't affect
We're
my
definitely
opinion
picking
on
female
playing
rover.
this game. Also why this section is very
Hashtag
Moving on
team
to
female
exploration.
rover is
Mostly
in
a
play.
thumbs up from me. Large open world,
We're definitely picking female
multiple
rover. She looks
areas,
so sick.
traversing on foot doesn't take that long, and there's really nice quality of life that makes the experience nice and not feel like a chore. Climbing turns into running up walls and doing backflips sometimes.
I cannot wait to get her. She looks
You
so
can access
sick,
the
dude.
grapple very early on, which is usually used on proper hooks with the T button, depending on the location, but can also be used arbitrarily when running around. When it's used properly with the T button on something that you can use it on, there's no cooldown. But if you use it arbitrarily, like just while you're jumping, there's a 12-second cooldown. You can also dash in midair. Gliding is also a thing, and it doesn't drain too much stamina, so you can hang on for a while. All of these
Sheesh.
things make it pretty nice to roam around the world. I never truly felt impeded by the terrain. There was always a combination of quality of life that I could use to get where I wanted to, which was great. Generally for the world map, it has your stereotypical layout. Teleport waypoints, boss dungeons, resource domains, quest markers, points of interest in towns, like
Mm-hmm.
NPCs and stuff.
Okay.
Typical gacha layout. It
Okay.
also
Okay.
has a
Okay.
small version of puzzles, chests, world resources, as expected, and
Not
a
crystal
wide variety
flies.
of unique enemies. Personally, I felt that the enemies were a bit.
Is there mint? Is there mint in the game? Because if they put mint in the game and did it better, I don't know what to tell y'all.
Spread out, but traveling is fast, so it doesn't feel too bad. I think it'd be nice to have a slightly higher quantity of enemies, maybe like a 20% increase to the whole world. They don't have to be guarding a chest or whatever, just existing for the purpose of farming, that we'll talk about later, would be nice. On the topic of exploration, there is a stamina system, and it's called Wave Plate. It's a 240 cap, which takes 24 hours to recharge, and gains
240?
1 per 6 minutes. Consuming for resources costs between 40 to 60 depending on what it is,
40 and
currently there's
60.
no way to store it for future use. Overall, really good experience with the quality of life.
Bro, I'm really hoping someone goes to developers and being like, yo, Honkai Star does an overcap. The fact that your game is gonna come out and people are gonna like try to bust and grind, you should definitely add an overcap. Just because of the fact that people are gonna leave for a little bit when they don't have anything to do. When they come back, that's gonna up the playtime so fucking much having overcapped stamina. Like the energy overcap is so fucking busted, bro. That is such a busted meta, bro. I don't know any. I think Cookie Run Kingdom does over stamina cap. Um, who else? There's a couple other games that do it. I think Dokkan you can over stamina cap. The new Blue Lock game you can over stamina cap. I've been playing the new Blue Lock game, by the way. It's pretty cool. It's not really anything to stream or do, but it's something to play on the side. It's a small game. There's a bunch of games that over stamina cap, but the over stamina cap meta, just the overcap is so fucking good, bro. I don't know why games are just not like making that like.
Only major thing
Oh,
is
duh.
obvious smaller bugs. Like sometimes you'll get stuck running on the side of the wall.
Get one
You
from
don't
the
actually
shop.
lose stamina unless you cover distance. So you can just run in place until you give up and realize that you're not going anywhere. Kind of cute. These small bugs don't really affect my review because in my opinion, the devs should eventually smooth them out. World glitchiness is totally expected for a CBT, so it is
Right.
what it is. The major features that are in the world are pretty solid. Now we'll get into the juicy topics that I personally have more interest in. To begin, we've got the most important system for any gacha game, how the summons work. So far, the base structure is near identical to Genshin, with some major improvements that we'll get to. 160 currency for 1 pull, 1600 for a 10 pull that guarantees at least 1 4-star rarity weapon or character. Pricing of the currency is identical to Genshin.
Okay.
$100 US.
I think when it comes to pricing, I think that most of the pricing is universal, right? For most gacha games, when it comes to their, I guess you could say, genre, right? I think it is like, a set amount that goes across, right? Because most games that have a setup like this for UI, I think most of them have similar pricing for it, but there might be slight differences in like the amount that you get. But I think the pricing pretty much goes the same across the fucking board, just depending on your region.
Times 2 for the first top up, and then likely 8,080 after the first bonus is used. Besides the first top
They even have
up,
a double
on average,
bonus.
each $100 US should get you 50 pulls worth of currency. It's expensive as, but my opinion for this doesn't matter. There's probably a reason the most successful and lucrative gacha game ever created is used as a reference.
Skins go crazy. They do skins.
If I were a dev, I'd use
like Honkai Impact 3rd skins.
Over it because it rakes in the cash. Here's what the banner rates.
Because Honkai Impact 3rd has some decent fucking skins.
Rate of 0.8%, which is 0.2 higher than Genshin. Pity is at 80. Soft
Can
pity
I ask completely unrelated questions? What's up? What's your question? Elisa. All right, but mm, 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 mm. I'll keep watching
50-50 rate
until you
up.
finish that
For
shit.
weapon banner, the base rate is also 0.8%, which is 0.1 higher than Genshin, with a pity at 80 again, and soft pity, currently unknown if any, and 100% guaranteed rate up. So the banners are treated equally with the same base rate that they always were. Only difference is the rate of chance.
I don't know,
And
man.
yeah, if you
I
notice, it's a
purposely
really
don't
big
even
feature.
let my
The limited
algorithm
weapon
touch
banner
any
is
form of
guaranteed to be the
political.
rate up when you hit the 5-star. And the standard weapon banner has a selector that you can choose which 5-star you're targeting, and then getting a 5-star is
No. Hashtag ad. Hashtag ad. Hashtag ad. We started talking shit. Hashtag ad.
guaranteed to be that one. So both weapon banners have no RNG involved, and worst case would take 80 pulls.
Hold on, I'm gonna restart that for the second because I'm gonna have to go back and cut a lot of this for the video.
The limited weapon banner is guaranteed to be the rate up when you hit the 5-star. And the standard weapon banner has a selector that you can choose which 5-star you're targeting, and then getting a 5-star is guaranteed to be that one. So both weapon banners have no RNG involved, and worst case would take 80 pulls to get the one you want. If you get an early 5-star on the weapon banner like I did, boy oh boy does it feel really good. In my opinion, this is a really big change. Every single category of player benefits from this change, from whales going for R5 all the way down to pure F2Ps. The average cost of R1 to R5 achieves a drastic cost reduction at all tiers, and the most important thing is the variance of pulls required to get one is reduced. This means that while winning a 50-50 can feel really nice, that also means losing a 50-50 can feel horrible. So that horrible feeling is now no longer a part of the equation. It's now also reasonable to include a character's signature weapon into a build calculation because it's way more within range of the average player's experience. Now let's head into the shop. The UI probably looks really familiar. Monthly subscription bundle, special bundles, and a level up gift pack, which is quite nice, an exchange system like Stardust and Starglitter, a purchase tab, and a point store to exchange rewards from endgame content, which is a common thing among gachas. Nothing really stands out here except one thing. In the item exchange, you'll notice that one of the things you can buy is GN's Waveband. In Genshin terms, would be equivalent to being able to buy Farina's constellations or any limited 5-star character. Yeah, crazy shit.
So
Probably one of
wait.
the most underrated features of this new shop system because this gives F2Ps and lower spenders and even whales a guaranteed goal of constellation buying.
So wait. You can't so you can't buy these and get the character, right? They're only like eidolons. So this is like the equivalent to the store that's in from I'm just speaking from stuff that I've been, familiar with. But Seven Deadly Sins has a store to where you can exchange currency and just buy copies of characters, right? So this is the equivalent of that. But like, can you buy these and get the actual character? Or does it just come with the constellation? That's the question. No? Okay, so you can just only get the constellations with this. Okay. Okay.
Now, this is only for the extra constellation.
Well, yeah.
Or,
Okay,
as
so he
they're
was going to say
called in Wuthering Waves, sequences.
sequences.
This is not purchasing the actual character. So while you probably can buy this even if you don't have the character, you won't be able to use them until you actually pull at least one copy of the character yourself.
I mean, that makes sense. But I wonder if they're going to update the store with like previous release characters though. And will that shop reset every time there's a banner?
This is equivalent to being able to buy, for example, a Yelon C1 or Farina C1 and C2, just as an example. Those are basically the most notable and game-defining features that I've noticed for the summon system. Overall, incredible improvements over the
Oh my god, bro, she looks so sick. Chat, when we see that animation, I'm going to go crazy.
On these games and makes content on it with my YouTube community, I still think that the price point is highway robbery. But it's still my job, and I have gacha brain rot, so GG for me, I guess. Next up, character design. So
It's
this
either gonna be
section is
random
about
resets
gameplay design
or
and not
when
its
the new
aesthetic
banner
design,
drops. Okay.
because those are two different things that character design could be referring to. In my opinion, Wuthering Waves has really solid character gameplay design. Each
Bro, she
character
looks
has a
so
unique set
sick.
of about
Like what?
because those are two different things that character design could be referring to. In my opinion, Wuthering Waves has really solid character gameplay design. Each character has a unique set of about 6 abilities, including their E and their R. Basic attack chain, which is spamming left click. You have the heavy attack, which is the equivalent of a
Thing
charge
is, bro,
attack,
you won't
which is
even
holding
need,
click,
cause like,
or
bro,
the E
think
button,
about it.
which is your skill, or
Think about what if they like. I doubt they're gonna do this, but like, say you summoned, right? You got your character. You didn't need to. You didn't want to use the currency or to get like an Eidolon or a Spectre, right? You didn't get the Spectre, but then the next banner comes out, right? Say that new unit does have their Spectre copies put into the shop. You can just keep backing them up, keep saving them, over like time, and just like if a unit comes out and it's super fucking busted, you can be like, bro, I got resources on deck. I got stuff in the bank account.
resonance skill in this game. You have R, which is your ultimate or resonance liberation. You also have something called an outro passive and an intro ability. These two combine to be called QTE. If you're familiar with Honkai Impact, that's what it is. And then we also have a special passive that enhances a part of their kit, which is called a Forte Circuit.
I'm hoping it
Each character
explains about the
also
intro
wields
outro
one active echo ability,
skills.
transforms them temporarily, and performs that echo's special ability. All of these things combine.
No. Hashtag ad. It was getting good.
Amazingly active playstyle that is unique to each character, and I love it. And if you're ever confused about how a character specifically works, there is a highly descriptive and dedicated tutorial for each character located at the bottom right of their main screen when you press C. Unfortunately, I was only able to find this for characters that I already own. But as of recording, I wasn't able to find an archive of characters to try
I
the
mean,
tutorial or even
that's not horrible, right? Because you get an in-game death on how to play with the character, and I'm assuming that after you do the little basic attacks or whatever, um, trade echoes on Discords. That'd be cool as fuck. If you can trade echoes in the game, that's cool as fuck. Like I'm hoping that is a thing. If that's the thing, we're definitely gonna be doing trades and like challenges where I have to like delete a shiny or something like that, right? But I'm hoping that with the tutorials, once you do the basic attacks, you get just free roam on a boss and you can just go crazy with it, right? I'm hoping that it's not in the game. Oh damn, bro.
the limited GN. I think it'd be really nice to be able to try the.
Oh, the web learner event. Yeah. I'm gonna be watching a video on that, covering that soon.
Maybe they'll have a temporary tab for each limited banner. Who knows? For example, from Genshin. I'm only going to go.
I'm not gonna watch all the videos I have for us to watch on stream today because I do want to play the game, play Honkai a little bit. But we're just gonna be recording this one, and then we might record one more video. So that'll be 2 videos going up on the channel this week.
These will differ in
2 reaction videos at least.
Color between each character. During combat, you can freely switch between characters of your party with the number.
Don't worry, we'll do the web event.
The QT effect. When you
I might do it on stream.
Mid combat, your party members have this visual effect near them. This indicates that QTE is ready. Swapping to a character triggers both the leading character's outro passive and the incoming character's intro skill. Pretty cool. So now that that's been introduced, it's important to note in this game there are 2 forms of energy. One for each character's ultimate, which is Resonance Energy, and one for the team's QTE, which is called Concerto Energy. Resonance is visible for each character. QTE, as far as I'm concerned, is not, but it'd be cool if it was.
Okay.
It's probably the quickest crash course I can give on character design for the purpose of this review. Overall, I can say I'm genuinely pleased with the diversity of playstyles and uniqueness of each character. It's way more complex than I thought it'd be, and I'm loving every second of it.
This looks so
Also,
cool.
the tutorial for each character is heavily underrated. Lots of players that I've seen did not know about specific gameplay mechanics of the main
Bro,
character,
this is
like
gonna be
Rover,
so
that's
fucking
explained in
cool.
the tutorial. Now I get it. Nowadays, we are all used to just going headfirst into everything and just learning as it goes.
Tell you what,
I'm at full
everybody that's gonna be doing
have your fun. Just
any
remember
type of water and wave stuff,
are your friends.
when we start doing the event stuff, make sure you're putting your stuff in the water and waves tag.
Design is the overall gameplay experience of the game. This includes all all the enemies you'll face over the course of your journey. I'm going to
We gotta get
first
these
do a little
missions
bit of
done.
mechanic explanation,
Especially if they have guilds,
on how
chat,
combat
or
works in a bunch of
alliances, we are
ways.
going
Then
to
I'll
be
go
one
over
of the
the different
strongest like
methods
free
for
to
the
play
game.
guilds
First, even though there are elements in the game, there are no
with a
reactions.
couple of
The
whales.
game, I think,
Because I
wants
know
to
some of y'all
define
can't help
the score
yourselves.
mechanics and the boss mechanics. It's difficult enough. Second, on top of all the character abilities that you have access to, the enemies give you openings for two more things to keep track of: perfect evasion and parries. Perfect evasion happens when you dash or dodge any dodgeable attack.
They're a thing in PGR. Oh my fucking
granting you
god, dude.
iframes for the entire
Yo, we're
rest of
starting
the
a
attack
guild.
that you
We're
just
starting a
dodged.
fucking
Parry
guild if they
occurs
bring
when
it,
you
dude.
use attacks or abilities against an enemy while they have a golden ring indicating their next move. From my experience, not all attacks or abilities work to parry, so the specifics are still being ironed out. Perfect evasion can be used against any attack, including parryable ones, but consumes stamina the same way dashing would.
Okay.
This is the default method of avoiding damage in this game, as there is a much lower risk of failing and taking damage. Parrying is much harder and stricter method of counterattacking the enemy. The main benefit is chunking the enemy's stagger bar by a set amount. When the stagger bar is completely drained, the enemy is crippled for a short period of time, lying stationary for you to deal damage. Now, there's a lot of nuance when it comes to parrying, including your distance from the enemy, the attack that you're using, and the angle that you're striking from. So yes, it's a lot more difficult, and failing the parry is more common than not, especially if you're still learning the fight. When you fail, you take damage like normal.
Bro, I'm so fucking excited for this game because if it gets to the point where like ranged characters have ranged parry attacks and stuff like that, bro, to be able to close the gap in certain combos and stuff like, bro, it's gonna be so fucking cool.
Against more difficult enemies. These enemy mechanics make fights very reminiscent of Souls-like games where slower, patient, and tactical strategy are much more important than Unga Bunga autopilot. The difficulty ramps
We gotta
up pretty
update the
heavily
stream
when you
playlist with
and
some
get
good boss
into
music
fights.
and some
We'll
good
dive more
fucking
into
Dark
that in
Souls
the next
music,
section.
bro.
You can basically view parrying as a level of skill issue associated with a particular enemy.
I mean, I know they're gonna have
Higher
beautiful
you
music,
are, the more parries
and
you'll
we're
be able to
definitely gonna be
do.
like playing with
So
the
that's like a
in-game
crash
music
course
on for
gameplay
the first
mechanics.
day.
Let's transition to
But other than
applications
that,
in the game. As you progress through the game, various boss
we definitely gotta get
dungeons and
some
resource domains are unlocked. Resource domains to level up characters, weapons, and their materials are filled mostly with trash enemies in single to multiple
with a
waves,
stand.
expected to be cleared fairly quickly. World bosses and
What the
weekly
fuck,
bosses are single
dude?
boss battles.
When this game comes out, I want to stream it all day.
They're not that difficult.
Legit, I want to try to get as many new people in the community as possible.
Upon reaching Union level 25, you can begin clearing tacit fields, which are equivalent to artifact domains. We'll talk a bit more about this because there's a whole section.
Like I'm talking like joining like the Discord and calls every so often, group farmings and stuff like that. Hoping that y'all will start taking advantage of the voice chats with each other and stuff like that, playing with each other. Like I want this game to be big for our channel.
These features should all be fairly familiar to you guys, so there's nothing that structurally stands out. In my opinion, Wuthering Waves looks to have put much more emphasis on the actual combat itself, rather than the features that contain that combat. So things like Tower of Adversity and Elusive Realm being...
I will go back to that point he said about their version of Simulated Universe. Simulated Universe, a roguelike system like that. My first time experiencing it and enjoying it was Honkai Star Rail. So I'll speak from my perspective on this. A lot of people won't really understand the concept of that because a lot of like some of my friends that tried Honkai Star Rail, they got to the Simulated Universe mission, the one that you do at the beginning, and they just click random things, right? And I told them the concept of it was like, yo, if you pick the same ones under certain paths and stuff like that, you get certain buffs. And then you end up getting like a super buff at the end. But like, a lot of people won't grasp that. They'll just keep picking random things that make sense to them. Like I did. Like when I first started playing it, like I would just pick the best stuff that sounded good. Like if one said HP, I want HP. I didn't stick on all of them being like HP or healing and stuff like that. Like I picked all over the place. Like I went hunt. I would go to abundance, and then I would go back to nihility, and then I would be all over the fucking place. And then like by the time I would get to the end, you know what I mean? I would have a weak ass fucking buff if I did, or I would just have a bunch of random ones. Like, yeah, I could beat it every so often. But like that's besides the point. My main point is like that won't be really something that is homebound to a lot of people. So I'm hoping that, they kind of, take their time from it and make sure they just do it right with it. Because I don't want people to be too confused with it, but at the same time, I do want it to be like, actually kind of difficult, and then also they still make an impact if it makes sense. You get a ton of rewards from it. Oh, PGR has a roguelike mode too. Sheesh. So they already know what they're doing then.
Abyss and Starro Simulated Universe looks to me like the devs thought, wow, that was a successful feature from what the
YouTube.
game was. Let's implement it with our own twist. Seems like a
Say hi to
common
YouTube,
thread
cause
of
sure this is a
smart
video.
and efficient but lazy approach that allowed them to focus less on aspects they viewed weren't as important to innovate and focus on what they love to show off. Again, I'm personally fine with this approach as long as they capitalize on their combat. If the game is focusing
Facts.
this much on impressing their players with top-notch combat, I expect them to have an internal roadmap of innovative boss fights that we can look forward to as the game ages. If they don't, the existing boss fights will slowly get more stale and the challenging elements will fade and people will lose interest. As players, we will also naturally get stronger over time with farming gear and the release of new characters, even more trivializing the difficulty of the current content.
Not even just
Overall,
that.
my impressions of
It's not even just that, bro. Because like I said, bro, like people who play this game, bro, and you've never played a Souls-like game, and if they actually do focus on like the actual combat itself and making it like difficult to a certain degree to where like it is a trial and error type situation, being patient, watching for certain attacks and stuff like that, bro, it comes with honing in on your skill and refining it at the end of the day. It will be a skill issue most of the time at the end of the day. Like you can have the best gear, you can have the best character, it will not fucking matter. If you are not dodging when you're supposed to dodge or parrying, you are fucked at the end of the day. It doesn't matter.
Positive, but this is also a blessing and a curse. A strong first impression also means an expectation.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you get hit with 2-3 moves, you're dead.
Realistic note though,
And like I'm not gonna be sitting there trying to run like a healer most of the time or a tanky ass character. I want to like be immersed. I want to be dodging these. Like I want to be fucking in my chair swiping side to side like I'm trying to fucking dodge IRL.
Farming and the ecosystem. This one's got a lot to unpack. So the ecosystem in Wuthering Waves is both the Pokedex farming and summoning in battle.
By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please leave a like and sub if you are new to the channel.
Crash course on these
Appreciate you.
Any monster that you kill in the overworld that is not a human NPC has a chance to leave behind a fragment of itself behind. You can absorb this as an echo and equip it for.
This is what I'm really excited about, chat. We are farming fucking echoes all goddamn day. I promise you.
Green, blue, purple, gold.
It does have a relic system, which is the echoes most of the time. I think. I think you do. I don't know if the echoes are your relics, but I think they are.
Each echo and independent rarity.
Yeah, they're relics. Yeah, they're relics. This is the cool thing. The echoes are fucking Pokemon. I don't give a fuck about farming that. And especially when you can get them in the overworld, bro. You don't have to go into a domain all the time.
Which shows you what you have gotten. Also allows you to track things you both have.
They have a limit time in a day you can farm them, but like that's for. But if you're farming each echo in the fucking game, that's like an unlimited amount, right?
I'm unsure if there's a level requirement to get rank 5 echoes because you technically unlock this really early without advancing your union level that far, but it's still in your best interest to level up accordingly to access better and more efficient content.
I mean, gear makes sense though.
Echoes, there's also a bunch of stuff you need to be aware of. You have total cost that begins at 8 from databank level 0 and increase.
Oh, so you have to increase your cost. You can't just get a good echo, throw it on, and then your whole team with a bunch of good echoes. You gotta level it up a little bit.
So you have 5 total slots, and each echo costs either 1, 3, or 4. 4
okay.
Cost are your crit damage pieces. 3 cost are your goblets, which are the elemental damage pieces, and 1 cost are percent stat pieces, so attack, defense, and HP. The top echo is the ability and that is chosen. In battle, this is done with.
So your top echo is the one that you transform into.
2-piece, 5-piece, with 5-piece being pretty strong and worth committing to. Each piece that contributes must be a unique echo. For example, having 2 identical types of echoes will not contribute to the set bonus. The exception to this rule are shiny echoes called Phantom Blank. They are special and can coexist with their non-shiny equivalent to provide set bonus. These are available in the point store for clearing Tower of Adversity, Elusive Realm, and the hologram bosses.
Ooh.
Okay, so that's as fast of a crash course as I can give without spending a whole video talking about them and overwhelming you guys. Let's talk about the nitty-gritty. All of the open world, including weekly and world bosses, can be farmed for echoes without using your stamina to claim the rewards. So this is especially apparent for weekly and world bosses. This is really nice.
I mean, even if you
Not
can get them
only
from the
your
shop,
world,
just
but
farming them in
also
the overworld
friends'
is gonna be
worlds
fun.
and friends of friends, and even random
It
strangers,
looks like
as
it
long as
is,
they
at
have an
least.
open world and allow you in to farm enemies and collect their
And you
items.
can go to other
Still use your
chat.
stamina to farm tacit
That's it. I mean, basically, you save up your stamina things, and we just go in each other's worlds and farm echoes, bro. Easy dub.
fields, which provide echoes, EXP,
We ain't farming each other's mint no
materials
more.
talk about. Every mob
Flowers,
will always give you
seashells, and shit. We
second
farming
so
fucking
farming the weak
Pokemon.
bosses will always grant you 4 cost echoes.
I'm here for
a
it.
little of crit rate, crit damage main stat. Same goes with the 3 cost and 1 cost. So you can easily catalog and mark which mob is what cost, map them out, and farm them.
We won't know until we play it.
Because of this specialized
We can only
farming,
speculate stuff
getting
like
the
that.
specific main stat you want for whatever piece you want is easier in this game than in other games.
Because if it has
Crit rate
controller
damage main
support,
stat 4 cost is
I'm definitely, I
easy
mean,
to achieve.
regardless, even
No
if it
amount of
doesn't, I'm still gonna
damage,
play it.
3 cost is still asked because it needs to be on set, but it's much more
Because,
realistic.
like,
1 cost
people don't realize, like, Genshin, fuck. Genshin, what else? Honkai have controller support, and they play very good. Very fucking good.
HP or defense main stat with flat HP secondary, so they're really easy to farm for the main stat. Now that's the tip of the iceberg.
True.
Substats, on the other hand, are a whole
Someone
other
stated the
beast,
fact that it might
where
have
a sickening amount
controller
of
support, but
ridiculously RNG dependent stuff happens. So hopefully by this point you understand that echoes are artifacts. Their cost
I mean, when I was playing Genshin, I was using
stat,
touchscreen for the
rarity,
fucking longest
base
and
value,
doing perfectly
max
fucking
level,
fine.
and substat count. In Wuthering Waves, substats are completely blind when you first get an echo.
And even when I
There's no
farm off
science
camera,
behind it.
I'm
You
not
also
fucking
don't
bringing my
upgrade the
my
substats.
controller over to
You
my
have to
computer
upgrade the
and
piece to see where
setting
the
up my whole
substat
setup
is.
just to play
These
Genshin
are
every
showing
time.
up at +5,
I was playing,
10,
laying down, playing
15,
touchscreen.
20, and 25. Also, the rarity has to be at least blue or better. How do you upgrade the piece? Well, you cannot use any of the other +0 echoes in your inventory. You must use dedicated
I'm playing all day.
EXP. If you want to use an echo to feed, that echo must already be leveled with
Like
some
the
EXP
first day that I
and
stream this game, I want to
25%
play all
of the
day.
EXP it took is sacrificed.
Literally only
So,
one of the
if
ways.
you feed 500 EXP into an echo, and then feed that echo to something else, it will only give 375 EXP.
I don't have a problem playing my
minus
fingers either.
135 EXP for nothing. This system is only really useful for
I
feeding
enjoy
an
the quality of
echo
playing
you
with
don't use anymore
controller
or
though,
wanna
for sure.
spend some EXP back. Otherwise, you'll be using dedicated echo EXP. In order to get echo EXP, they are stamina locked. You can either go to tacit fields for a minor chunk, or go to the dedicated resource domain that specifically gives echo EXP and tuning, both of which cost stamina. These
Okay.
dice that you see called tuners, you need these to unlock
They
the
have
substats.
synchros?
So the substats don't just appear for free. So you have a blue, purple, gold echo at +0, because the green don't have substats. And you start upgrading. +5, 10, 15, 20, 25 are the thresholds where substats start appearing. What are the possibilities? Well, any stat that
My
you
boy
can
got
think of
30
except
defense.
element damage bonus. So that includes flat attack defense HP.
Not flat. Can we get flat stats out of the fucking game?
And liberation damage bonus. You have crit rate,
Dang
crit
it.
damage, and then you have energy regen. I may have missed some, but already that's 13 unique possible substat rolls. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this
I've been a
game
controller
allows you to
warrior all my
always
life,
use substat as the main
so I
stat.
don't mind playing
It's
it.
actually pretty cool and a nice feature. So a crit rate main stat 4 cost can also roll crit rate substat for even more crit rate. When looking at those stats, usually a character that's DPS will probably want crit rate, crit damage, energy regen, their main stat of attack, defense, or HP percentage, and at least one source of
It depends on who you are as a
maybe
player,
skill,
whether or not
or
it's
duration
overwhelming.
for whatever their main source of damage is. So that's 5 out of 13.
Because one
substats
thing,
that are
and I'm not just talking about you in particular, but people who suffer from similar thought processes like that. One thing about games, y'all, they're not meant for you to fucking beat or do or fully grasp the first time you play. They're not. And that's the best thing about new games to me, or games that are pushing a certain agenda, right? It's not like I like building up the failure stacks. I like not understanding stuff and learning stuff and, like, you know, taking my time with it. I don't like it's not put there for you to be able to just consume all in one go. You know what I mean? Like, just keep that in mind.
useful. Now, I don't know if these stats are evenly weighted, but the RNG is already starting to surface and it is pretty to spare. Now let's be realistic and say that we are okay with any of the 5 substats on the first 2 upgrades, not going to hunt specifically for crit rate, crit damage. because going for 3 to 5 of useful substats is insanity, which we'll get to. Ideally, you'd want to hit this by plus 10, otherwise the cost of upgrading will be depressing. So, first 2 substats with something useful is about
And then on top of that,
12.8% chance.
like Tectone says all the time, he's like, bro, you miss out on Genshin lore. There's somebody out there that has made a video explaining either the story, what you missed out on, or an in-depth process. Somebody's doing
Not bad.
it.
3 substats, which is plus 15. It's a 3.5.
I'm not personally fond of making guide videos, but like, if we get to certain points when we're playing the game or streaming it, and you know, we figure something out and we want to explain it, and it's video worthy, we might make a short or we make a video. I need to honestly start making fucking shorts.
I also don't know how the rolls are weighted.
Cause Shira told me a long time shorts are like heavy on growing. So definitely gonna be making some shorts on
So with those 5 perfect substats, all useful, no waste, is roughly
Wuthering Waves for sure.
1,000, assuming all 1,000 have the right main stat you wanted in the first place. Honestly, that's not that terrible, right? Well, the substats themselves have a range of rolls.
It does have a skip in them,
Currently
but
72, the range of rolls
it does.
from anecdotal data is estimated to be up to 4x. This means that the highest, for example, crit rate roll could be 4 times the smallest roll. Now, personally,
Excuse me?
show you, but the only example that I have are 2 pieces, both with HP percent substat, one with 5.2% and one with 14%. So this range is already almost 3x.
That motherfucker could drop at 14% for crit rate? What the fuck? Imagine getting the crit rate piece with 14% crit damage on the fucking stat, like as soon as it starts, and it hits all crit. Oh my god.
The amount of EXP that would take would easily clear your stamina for the day.
Well, that's the thing. In this game, they said they're like focusing mostly on the combat and stuff, and the story's just gonna be like icing on top. So I mean, if they do good with the story, and then they also give you an option whether you want to consume it then and there or later, is even better. Which is the skip button is there.
Don't need to be super high roll. They can just have 1 to 2 usable substats and move on with your day. We all crave crit rate crit damage because we have brain rot, but in reality, anything useful goes. I still find that the range of substats is still too large. Unless we are given explicit rates, or just pretend we are oblivious.
Damn, you got me excited. You got me wanting to try punishing Grey Raven for real.
Wait a minute. Some of these rolls are way bigger than the others. If this substat system stays how it is, then aiming for 1 to 3 substats that you want at plus 5, 10, and 15 will probably be the way to go. And then you'll just have to accept whatever 20 and 25 give. But this is also dependent on how difficult content becomes. Do we really need insane pieces, or can we manage with mostly just main stats?
Or can you manage with just skill and dodging and fucking... Is it timed? Or does it... It's counting down, so you do is timed.
And which audience are trying to target. In its current state, upgrading echoes is very expensive. Using stamina to farm EXP, and then RNGing the substat rolls, and then RNGing the roll value. Does the average player have the time to commit farming multiple worlds for echoes, or do they have to strictly rely on stamina? Currently, at Union level 30, the stamina to echo conversion is 60 to 2 pieces.
So with that being said, I'm understanding, and I'm hoping that I'm not misunderstanding. He might explain this later, right? So what I'm understanding, there are some overworld echoes that you can catch. Then there's stamina echoes that you can catch. But you can go to other people's worlds and catch some of the overworlds echoes that are, you know, obviously you can't catch in your world. So, I mean, it just depends on how you're going to be playing the game, right? And since we're going to be playing as a community, it won't be that heavy, right? In the sense of, you know, finding at least someone to let you in their world to do some echo farming, right? But on top of that, when it comes to just stamina, I mean, like if you're playing casually, I feel like it won't be that heavy. Especially if you're gonna be playing casually, you're gonna be playing at a slower fucking pace, anyways. And which I recommend if you're gonna be playing casually, and you know, just taking your time with it and enjoying the game, and then like you know, working yourself up to certain fights, and I feel like that's the best case scenario. Hold on, there's someone at my door. I'll be right back. Wait, never mind. My roommate said he got it. All right, but anyways, yeah, long story short, like that's one of the things I'm looking forward to as well. It's just seeing how we'll be able to, just manipulate ourselves in, getting better echoes, getting the phantom echoes, the shiny echoes, and stuff like that. Feeding off each other in the community and
Today,
stuff like that.
we'll
Long
spend
story
all
short,
of it on echo farming. If the average player who only has time to burn their stamina can get 8 pieces per day, they have way too many RNG walls to burn through for decent stats. They'll
right?
probably be trying to clear more of the difficult bosses, and for the less patient, they'll probably burn out of interest around this point. The
Mm.
hardcore player may be able to sustain the game cycle, is able to farm multiple worlds worth of mobs and bosses for more echoes, leading to 10 to 50 echoes farmed per day. But they still have to commit to farming EXP, and probably if they're hardcore, they have harsher requirements for the pieces, meaning they'll throw away more pieces than the average player. And I understand that this infinite farming is probably the reason why +0 echoes cannot be used for EXP, because basically this would heavily reduce the stamina usage for a
Okay.
specific purpose.
So there is an endless cycle, like we were talking about. You can just like keep going to other people's world, but like you said, since you can't use zeros, you're just gonna have to like hoarder these pieces for a little bit until you're able to get
Though you would still need
the
to grind for
XP
each ethos.
requirement for it.
I don't know. Thinking like a developer, trying to wrap my head around the ecosystem and balancing its features around as many players as possible feels like a nightmare. This is definitely the endgame loop of grinding if this is what we're seeing in CBT2. So I can see the perspective of both sides who think this is fine and people who think this needs a big rework. Because you can argue that the content doesn't need the substats if you have enough skill, which is totally valid, but people will still want to get the best pieces possible
I
for the
think my
characters they play.
question is, and I'm hoping that this gets touched on, is when it comes to co-op, right? You know how when you play Genshin, if I invite someone, it's I can bring a person and they can bring a person. But then if I invite another person, I can use two people and they are only both restricted to one. How is this gonna work? Is this gonna work in the sense of will each person load in with their other people that they can use and they can switch out in between the fight? Or would they be restricted to like, a certain amount of characters during the co op session in
Playing
general?
and continue to improve how quickly they can clear the hardest content. In order to prevent me repeating a bunch
You
of
don't use
stuff,
one character in
I'll
co
just
op?
stop recapping there for the echoes. Also, I apologize if this section is particularly
So
confusing.
absorbing
The
overworld
ecosystem
echoes
itself
doesn't
is
take any
complicated
stamina.
by
Okay.
default, and I needed to
I
simplify
mean,
it as
obviously it
fast as
wouldn't, but
possible to engage in a review about it. Overall, it's the most complicated system in the game. It's heavily RNG dependent, but it's also responsible for the endgame loop. So it's really, really important, but also so difficult to fine-tune for the right feeling of this system. I feel like at the bare minimum, cutting the range of substat rules would be a major step forward. Instead of being able to see 5.2% HP or 14%, which is my example, maybe something like 5.2 to 10.4. The largest role being only twice as big as the smallest role would feel a lot better. This is a crucial system in the game to fine-tune as it directly impacts the combat experience in the game. So I hope a balance is reached where
I see.
upgrading
Okay.
doesn't feel like a complete slot machine and there's a middle ground between time spent, stamina spent, and resources gained. Alright, final dedicated section on the mid to end game
End
bosses. I
game
didn't want the gearing, farming,
bosses.
and echoes to be the final section because I didn't want the mixed vibes to be the lasting impression from the video. I overall still feel the game has strong potential. So, for these bosses, they are specifically the hologram fights that unlock at Union level 27. Take all the world bosses that you usually fight for character essential materials, but add progressively more difficult and aggressive movesets. Besides the bugs and sometimes weird and uncomfortable camera movements, these difficult bosses have excellent design. Each fight is completely different and is themed around the monster of the fight.
Wait, what is that?
Moveset, the weird and uncomfortable camera movements, these difficult bosses have excellent design. Each fight is completely
What
different
is this
and is
Star
themed
Fox
around the
ass
monster of the
fight?
fight. The Heron has a bird themed moveset. The Memphis has a mutant superhuman move design. The Morning Ikes has supernatural dragon move designs. And Monkey is Monkey.
Monkey.
Movesets all have parryables and proper evasion techniques, so it's a hyper-focused test on your anticipation, reaction speed, and split-second decision making. The more you fight the bosses, the better you get at them. Really enjoyable concept and great boss designs overall. Some important points of improvement though. Camera. Camera is almost great. Sometimes it has trouble following snappy movement, especially when the boss zips closely to your character's hitbox. These are the auto-lock camera features, And I tried disabling them and playing with other settings, and it still makes it difficult to manually follow the quick moves. This is just my personal preference, and I think some people feel the camera is fine. In my opinion, having the camera adapt to the movement at a slightly slower speed would improve its fluidity and not cause super sharp switches and
That was sick.
Second are general combat bugs. I feel that these will be fixed on release, so there's not really a point to bring them up in detail, so I'll just mention them. Perfect evasion, not fully dodging an attack, so sometimes even post-dodge you still take damage from surrounding hitboxes, and then taking damage after getting a successful parry depending on the enemy's hitbox, also annoying. Both of these are taking extra damage at the cost of bugs. Might seem like a small issue, but remember, these fights are
Ooh!
Taking a hit
Bro, it was sick. So you could just, oh my god, as long as you have stamina, you can just keep doing that.
Bugs might seem like a small issue, but remember, these fights are extreme challenges. Taking a hit is basically getting one shot or two shot. Third is retrying these bosses. So while there is a feature to press P that allows you to abandon the current challenge, it does not reset your character's HP or revive your downed party members. So, after abandoning the challenge, you'd still need to teleport to a major waypoint to heal your team and then come back.
Okay.
The current method to avoid this is to have the boss down every single one of your team members, causing you to instead fail the challenge. Failing the challenge will revive your entire team to full HP and 0 energy and put you right before the challenge point, meaning you can instantly retry.
So just let him kill you at the end of the day.
Your team members can sometimes take a while and is really just a waste of time. And since these are the bosses that are extremely difficult, players tend to spend hours redoing these fights over and over to achieve that one successful or perfect run. So it'd be a huge quality of life to see this implemented on the P button and allow us to instantly abandon and retry with full HP and 0 energy.
Okay.
Besides that, I really enjoyed these difficult boss fights. Hopefully you guys don't watch too many
I'm looking
videos
so
on
forward
boss
to
fights
this.
themselves, because the beauty of
Yeah, I don't want to see too many.
And then once you succeed, you can feel like a god gamer. That's the best feeling you'll get in a combat-focused game. So, overall, I personally think Wuthering Waves has a really solid foundation and incredible potential to take a portion of the gacha community by storm. Those looking for a technically intensive combat experience playing as anime guys or gals will probably find their best chance here, and let's hope that the momentum will continue beyond the initial release. From what I've currently experienced, I will 100% be playing the full release of this game, which hopefully we can expect in 2024. So expect lots of guides and challenge content to appear on this channel. And consider
Dude, chat, we're definitely doing some crazy ass stuff, like swords only, range only, like we're doing some crazy ass stuff with this. I don't hear none of y'all bitching about his heart either. We never back down, never give up.
And drop a lua in the comments and what you're looking forward to for the game. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Sick video, Slice. Appreciate that. I'm gonna leave his shit in the description. When I do go and edit this video. I am excited. I'm excited for Wuthering Waves. Who's we? I give up. Oh my god. Anyways, I am excited for Wuthering Waves. Almost said Punishing Great Raven. Because I really do actually want to go try that game out. Just to see what they talk about over there. But if you guys are excited for this, let me know in the comment section if you're gonna be playing. And if you are, make sure you do hit the subscribe button and like and come hang out with us and join the community and get involved with us. We're gonna be playing this game all day when it fucking comes out, so be there or be square, blah blah blah. But anyways, everybody in chat, say bye to YouTube. We'll see them next time when I do record a video. Probably Wuthering Waves. I don't know fucking know. I got like 4 more planned. But anyways, yeah. Hit the like, subscribe, bye. Okay. So I can take this off the playlist, right? For sure. I got a bunch of stuff we can go and watch, man. Got a bunch of stuff. What time is it right now? 3:47. Y'all want to record one more video, or do y'all want me to just go? Or what y'all want to do? Y'all want to record one more video, or do y'all want to go straight into some Honkai style stuff? Bro, tell me why Master still had the 11 gigabyte update. It's because they added like a bunch of stuff, a bunch of quality of life improvements. Zenless Zone 0. Y'all want to watch that one? I'm like back and forth with Endless Zone Zero. I really don't. I'm not interested. We might try it out, but I'm not interested though. We can watch it. Let's see.
Is a healer, and he's got this big, like sniper.
Hashtag ad.
He's got his beat. He's got his sniper.
So I spent about
All right. I really don't know how to start this one off, bro. Um, Zenless Zone Zero. Let's see what they're cooking with. I guess a recording reaction for this. I mean I've been kind of I haven't been keeping up with the game. I've seen some stuff on it. I've watched a couple people play it. Um, you know, just to see their reaction for it, but not out of interest for the game. But let's see if this video will change my mind.
So I spent about 50 hours playing the new Horrorverse game Zenless Zone Zero. I managed to beat the hardest boss, as well as all the current content. I tried out every character, and now I'm entering the daily grind loop. And I gotta say, I like this game, but at the same time, I also feel concerned about several things. So in this
Okay.
video, I want to talk about Zenless Zone Zero gameplay, the difficulty, the endgame, and a lot more, including some spicy topics. Keep in mind, my opinion here is based around the second closure.
The chickle
or
physics.
as Hoyo calls it, the equalizing test. So if you're watching this in the future, hi, and things might be different from the global version. Now, to me, this game feels like an enigma. I truly don't know who is the target audience for ZZZ. I mean, obviously people who are fans of other Horrorverse games such as Genshin or Star Rail might try it, but it's no secret the game
Okay, on the street, not for me. Not from me, okay? Look, this didn't come from me. Y'all know I'll keep it a buck 50 with y'all. I keep it a peep for real. I heard the game was targeted towards furries and obviously you know, anime dweebs and stuff like that, and I don't know. I really don't know how to feel about it cuz I mean like it just doesn't look I don't know. I don't know. What are you excited about what Zenless Zone Zero for though? Like what makes you excited about the game? Like I'm genuinely curious. Cuz like their target audience like it obviously isn't me because like I said I don't have any type of like excitement about it. Like I've seen trailers, I've seen some of the gameplay. It's just that I don't know, man. I feel like I'm already playing games that do this. If it makes sense.
getting a lot of feedback both from content creators and the general public. And so with the amount of time I've spent on the game, I think I can give it a fair assessment. So let me show you what the actual gameplay looks like to get the full picture. Basically, the game is made up of three major mechanics.
No care went
There's
into this
combat,
game.
where you fight with your collected characters, TV traversal that's sort of like a mini game, and then there's the city and various areas you can explore with your main character. In combat, you take control of three characters called agents, but only get to play one at a time by switching around. However, there's a lot of cool things that can happen. For example, there's chain attacks you can cause by building up the enemy's daze meter, there's perfect dodging and parries that can cause various effects, and you can even unleash ultimates that look really cool. Now, the other major part of this game is TV mode, or as I'd like to call it, TV traversal. Basically, it's a
I heard a
puzzle
lot of
minigame
bad stuff
where you
about
navigate
this.
through these TVs and have to beat missions this way. Compared to the previous beta test, these puzzles feel a lot more fleshed out, they are creative, have different objectives, and can be fun, if you're into that sort of thing. I say this because I've seen a lot of complaints online that this mode is boring or that people wish you could just go straight to combat and skip these puzzles. And the thing is,
Yeah, like if you're not looking for combat, I don't know if this. I don't know, right?
Initially, since now that I ran out of missions to do for this beta, I don't see those TVs that much anymore, and only the Hollow Zero Endgame Challenge has them, which is something that I will talk about later in the video. Now, personally, I kinda like the TV mode, but it really depends on the mission. Some of them are fun and engaging. For example, there's a puzzle that's like a tower defense mode where you attack incoming enemies. Other one has
I have no idea
where
what
you
the
need to
fuck's
answer
going on.
questions based on your memory and so on. But I won't lie, a good number of these TV mode missions feel too long or too simple for my taste, and I would get tired of them. And you might be thinking, what is the deal with these TVs? And what do they represent? Well, the main character you play with is a proxy. You take control over this cute bamboo robotic creature, and you guide the agents inside places called the Hollows. Hollows are dangerous. These supernatural zones have basically wrecked the world, so when you travel through those TVs, you are actually investigating the Hollows. But I don't know.
I don't think you've outgrown gotcha games. I think you've outgrown the concept of them. Because if you play a gacha game and if you played a gacha game and you genuinely enjoyed it and didn't feel the need to spend money, that's highly possible. Like, it's highly possible. You know what I mean? Like, it's highly possible to play a gacha game and not spend any fucking money and just enjoy it to the fullest capability. Whether or not you get a character that you wanted or anything like that, I feel like you can definitely like enjoy them. Like, if you find one that you genuinely do enjoy it and don't have to spend money, I don't like I said, I think it's just a gacha aspect that you've grown out of. But I mean, if you, I can recommend this. Just go into them and don't pull. Don't even like make that an objective. Go into one that you are interested in and don't pull and see if you like it. And if you genuinely like it, then you can actually enjoy the game and not. You can ignore the gotcha aspect of it. Like, I think it's just the fact that like because like bro, there's so many people that I'll tell about certain games, and they hear that it's a gotcha, right? And it's just like, dude, just because it's a gotcha doesn't mean anything. Like, a lot of gotcha, there's like so many gotcha games now that don't even focus on the gotcha aspect. Like, it is a part of it and it does help you significantly, but like, bro, the game itself is just fun. You know what I mean? It's just fun.
Game hypes up the Hollows like it's some sort of a dead zone of nightmares, but even as someone who has a strong imagination, it's hard for me to think about the Hollows as a dangerous place because I don't really get to experience it visually that much, besides the combat arenas that you can enter into from the TV and start the fights. Now, the last part of the gameplay is city exploration. You as a main character and your sibling own a video rental store called Random Play, and it's located at the 6th Street, a place of many shops and characters.
So you own a
You can go eat some
Blockbuster?
ramen for combat buffs, you can visit shops to buy weapons called W Engine, pull for artifacts which are called Drive Discs,
Yeah,
you
I
can talk to this
I don't know,
mysterious
chat.
trash can to submit collectibles, and so on. And if that's not enough, 6th Street is just the first zone.
What's up with
As
Holy
part of
Verse and
chapter
trash
2 of
cans?
the story, you also unlock a new zone of Bellabog Industries construction site.
Why do they
And
glorify
yes, you
trash
heard it
cans so
right.
much?
Bellabog from Star Rail in this universe is a construction company, and starting from chapter 3, you can also visit this plaza, but it doesn't have much going on for now. Now, the majority
Penacony?
of your time during exploration will be spent
Are these
running around
scraps
and
from
talking to
Honkai?
different people. They will have some sort of side mission available for you, and most of them are funny. The game doesn't really take itself that seriously. What's also interesting is that there are some elements borrowed from the Persona series, because the day is split into 3 periods. Some missions can be only started or progressed during one of these periods.
Uh-oh.
Sometimes you can even set the schedule by yourself inside the DMs, which is pretty interesting. To me, this daytime mode
I mean,
feels
that's the
like a
thing though,
trade-off
like,
right
bro,
now.
that's
I get it.
I'm
It's
trying to like
simulate a daily
I'm trying to paint that fact, right? For you guys. Like, in the sense of like, just ignore the gotcha part, right? What, like, I understand like there are gotcha games and their whole point is to pull. Like, their whole point is to pull. That is the whole purpose of the game, is to pull. But there are a lot of games now that are moving towards the point of it is a gotcha game, but your whole objective isn't to fucking pull, if that makes sense. So like, saying they can make it free to play to be miserable, that's the part I'm excluding. That is understood, that is already known. What I'm saying is, like, bro, for you to enjoy a game is not the aspect of pulling. If you enjoy a game because you can pull on it, you have a fucking gambling addiction. If the only way that you can enjoy a game is if you get to pull on it and you can do stuff to pull more, you have a gambling addiction or you have a pulling addiction. Long story short, breaking the ice with you. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to a game that has a gotcha aspect and you can enjoy it, and the gotcha aspect is just something that's added to it that you also enjoy, that's cool. You do have a gambling addiction, yes.
because, for example,
If you cannot enjoy a pulling game without pulling, or without the concept of pulling being the fun part, then yes, you have a fucking gambling addiction.
They are ready again. So yeah, that's a Persona vibe, although not as punishing. Also, during midnight, I think all of the shops close down, so you cannot go inside them and do things like buy stuff or pull for the artifacts, and you need to progress the day. But one major thing you will notice is that you only get to control your main character. The agents that you obtain from the gacha, well, you can only see them in combat, but not when just chilling out and exploring the city. To me, this is a bit of a bummer. I get what they are trying to do here, since you can easily find a lot of the agents just hanging around the city. You can talk to them and even improve their trust or obtain a new mission, which is cool, but still. It would have been nice to just run around with my obtained S-rank agents around the city. So now you might be thinking,
You can't even
what
run
exactly
around with
is
your
this
characters
about?
in the
Well, the
city.
story that I've experienced so far has no main plot, no stakes, and no big villain group. Instead, you just kind of live a double life of a shopkeeper slash proxy. And
No, it
yeah,
does change the behavior of a game to a certain aspect, bro. You got to think about it. How many free to play players are out there that literally don't even fucking pool and they enjoy the grind aspect of being able to beat a gotcha game without pulling? Or you have some of these people who will literally, like, there are very few people that literally love like some of the 4-star characters and they will main them and make them busted. Yes, ideally, when it comes to like beating a certain content under a certain time limit, or with a certain amount of stars and stuff like that, or when it comes to Honkai Star Rail, zero cycling something that might not be up to a point where they can always get to, but they can still beat the fucking content and get the maximum amount of rewards possible that they wanted in the first fucking place, right? I'm thinking about it from a minimal standpoint, not the super sweaty standpoint or the bare minimum standpoint. I'm thinking about from the minimal standpoint. When it comes to a game, bro, game design, game mechanics, all these things are taken into accountability for me personally for it to be a good game. Music, animations, environment, just just to feel if it's rough or if it's smooth whenever you're fighting and stuff like that. All that comes in accountability, and the gotcha aspect could be something I could give it less fuck about. The game could be good as fuck, and the gotcha rates could be like Dokkan, bro. Cause like, bro, Dokkan, bro, you can spend $200 and not get a goddamn fucking thing. You can end up not getting the main fucking character. But when you play something like this game, for instance, right? Or when you play something like any Hoyo Risk game, right? There's a pity system, and you are at least guaranteed to at least get the character in $200, or 2 copies of the character in $200, right? Or maybe even more than that. I don't fucking know. Depends on if you hit pity early. But long story short, you got the 50-50 aspect. So, when it comes down to it, bro, like the gotcha aspect, that's its own separate bubble of whether or not you like it, love it, don't care about it, or you glorify it at the end of the day, right? But when it comes to the actual game, like all those things, the characteristics that I listed, right? Those things are gonna be what I need to enjoy the game, right? Exactly, right? Like if I'm not enjoying that main point right there, I agree with. If I'm not enjoying the game, I don't give a fuck about the gotcha aspect. I don't give a fuck about the environment. I don't give a fuck about the music. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I don't give a fuck how sexy one of the characters look, bro. If the game plays like ass, long story short, not gonna fucking play it, bro.
during every chapter by a different group of
Like take
characters.
Overwatch for
Everyone's
example,
all
bro.
about
Like I've
acquiring
been
some kind
thinking
of
about
amazing
taking
plots for
another
obtaining heroes'
fucking
agents.
break, or
You
just
know,
not
the ones
playing
you
that
see
game for a
flashing
long
all over the
time
ads. While
again
in chapter 2,
because it's
you
so
have the
fucking
Bellowbach
it's
agents
in a
who update
bad
the
state
3
right
missing
now.
machines you need to operate with. Now, I'll admit
Apex,
it, chapter
horrible
1 for me
state.
did not feel interesting. It was, quite
Wraith,
honestly,
my
a bit
favorite
of a
character
slog.
ever.
But
I
in
have her
chapter
fucking
2, the
heirloom,
goal
all
of
that.
retrieving the
I don't play
machines
the
and
game no
learning more
more,
about
nor
Kalina,
do I
who is
spend
the
money on
leader
it.
of Bellowbog, was actually really good. And I think at that point, I understood that Hoyo this time around isn't trying to introduce a major plot point immediately, at least for now maybe. And I get it. When you look at Genshin,
Because I feel like
the
when
plot
it
is
comes
simple,
to
save your
Zenless
sibling.
Zone Zero, right? I feel like their story is gonna be heavy carry in the sense of like just people glorifying the animations, the facial expressions, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. Sounds like Seven Deadly Sins to me. Only reason I'm in it is for the guild. I barely touch PvP nowadays due to the shift in meta. I mean, like that's another thing that like can deter people from certain games. Like the gotcha aspect being the only route to enjoy the game because the story is shit. The the events are shit, but the PvP they like, right? Because it gives like a fuck ton of rewards for them to pull more to go and play PvP. If you like PvP, do your thing. But me, that's one of the reasons why I stopped playing Seven Deadly Sins was because like don't enjoy the story. The only cool thing was PvP meta. well, PvP, but you only could play it and enjoy it if you had one of the newer units or one of the older units just got a fucking buff out of nowhere. You know what I mean? That's just another example.
So there is a finality to that, and I think no company that makes gacha games wants to have a finality in their story.
I believe Agent breaks the rule
Oh
of no
no.
romance.
Hashtag ad
Still
chat.
professional. The Mafia Nanny.
So today I'm going to be talking and giving my opinion on the artistic changes and decisions that Yu-Gi-Oh has made over the years. This is coming from someone who's played Yu-Gi-Oh since the very first cards, or Dark
Wait a minute.
Magician, Blue Eyes White Dragon when they were a kid, all the way up to still currently playing the game, mostly on Master Duel. And there's been a lot of ethical and artistic changes that
I just had to wait to see Dark Magician. I don't know.
That
Anyway.
means you either need to stretch out the main plot or come up with bigger stakes for the second
Dude,
arc, which I can imagine.
I run ad blocker on Opera GX, but I'm watching from my phone right now. I don't have a YouTube, Red.
Insanely polished. Like, the animations feel super elastic, and the stories are told in 3 ways. You either have comic strips, cutscenes, or just dialogues in this stylish manner between characters. But damn, the cutscenes here
Nicole's
feel like
tits are probably gonna carry the whole fucking thing. I know who Nicole is.
Emotion they're expressing. The movement is fluid, and overall, it's an eye candy experience whenever you get to.
Bro, I remember.
The same could also be
Speaking of ad blocker, I remember when I first started using Opera GX, right? And I learned about the ad blocker mechanism, and then got involved with it, and then out of nowhere, YouTube started testing this thing where it was if you have an ad blocker, you can only watch up to 3 videos before they just completely lock you out of the site. And I was like, bro, is this even fucking legal? Holy shit.
For combat animations. They are fast, fluid, and insanely gorgeous. I also have to shout out the soundtrack. Genshin and Star Rail have some amazing beats, and Zenless doesn't disappoint in this department.
You better play me a snippet. I don't believe you.
We're all listening to it right now. But one major thing that changes with Zenless.
If I was listening to it right now, I definitely am not impressed.
The equivalent of resin or trailblaze power to jump into any of the commissions. In this game, it's called battery charge. So yeah, it's your usual gacha energy system. And while you can talk to NPCs in the city and start the missions, the majority of them will require you to go to your hollow deep dive system located at the video store. And this is the place where you get to engage with the TV traversal and combat gameplay. It usually costs between 20 to 40 battery charge to start the commission.
But you didn't even
and have
beat
a
the fucking
maximum of
train
180
mission.
battery charge that recharges 1 point every 6 minutes. So while there's more of it and recharges faster compared to Genshin, you still have to
Need
keep in mind
popcorn?
you cannot do the story
For sure. You missed most of the beginning reaction content. Thank you for the
The
sub.
majority of gacha games
Appreciate
require
you.
to spend energy in order to play the story. But Hoyoverse literally got rid of this
Convention both with Genshin and Star Rail, so it boggles my mind why this decision was made for Zenless. And the thing is, the rewards you get for spending battery charge are
wild. If we talk about the actual daily loot, the 2 major ways to spend it right now, besides story content, is by either completing rally commissions or by doing VR trials. Rally commissions are these long combat arenas. They have various cool one-time secrets you can discover, like starting a secret boss fight, but at the end
Interesting.
of it, you get materials for advanced character skills, and more
At
importantly,
least you got a great team
get
for Boot Hill when he
materials
comes out.
for the drive disc.
Everybody excited for Robin and Boot Hill? I'm waiting for Firefly.
It costs
We're going all in for Firefly. We're getting Firefly and the Light Cone.
like
Oh
more than
God.
half your energy. And the last stage gives you 60 of these plating
I got some free to play
stages,
pools saved up right now.
drive pulls. By using
And the
this
mission
combat
passes
option,
coming
you
back
have a
soon.
chance to get S-rank discs.
Another sub, y'all going crazy. Let's go. Make sure you leave a like on the
It's
stream.
pretty cool, especially since you can select which set to pull for with increased odds. But like the artifacts, each disc can have different main stat, and here, you can actually pull for a specific disc with main stats, but it costs double the materials. So
Interesting.
imagine a scenario. You want to do a 10 pull for one specific disc main stat. This will cost 100 plates, which is about 166 battery charge, and that's only if we consider the last rally stage rewards. So literally,
You go
all
for
your
Jade
enemies
since
of
she
the
does
day,
follow-up
especially
attacks.
considering
She's
it
part of the
still
IPC.
costs
Oh, so you're going for
100
IPC
However,
team?
once a day, you can drink this
See, I made a vow that I'm going to get every Stellar on Hunter.
That's a plus.
And Firefly turning out to be Sam when I already fell in love with her character
But on the flip side,
just
if you
even
rank
solidified it
before
even more.
you want a quick daily loop. As for VR trials, it's just a stage where you select enemies from these cards, which you can collect from exploration. And then, depending on the setup, you can quickly farm up the materials like money, character and weapon ascension mats, as well as experience, which is pretty interesting and gives you a unique control of how you
These are
spend your
like
battery
keys.
day.
In Phantasy Star, we had these keys where you got them from doing missions, and then you would go use the keys to do like a certain mission that unlocked, and you got like weapons, you got materials, you got like tickets to go pull for like gotcha for like outfits and stuff like that. It's interesting.
Considering that the coffee you drink for the day can influence the drop rate of certain materials. Now, all this farming means the game is hard, right? Well, it's a bit complicated. Like, legit, the first 20 hours, the combat felt
She
brain
cut her
dead
HP
easy.
when using
I
the
could just
skill.
mash the
Interesting.
buttons randomly and still clear every
The
time
Discord,
I played. However,
I don't know if
we aren't
Kashir
talking
is still
about
here. He'll
story
probably
or
drop a
side
link for it,
missions.
but there
This
should be
is
also a
the
link
allure of
for
this
it in
game.
the
When was the
description.
last time you felt like it was
They've been putting up
difficult to get
information
this kind
about
of
Firefly if
content?
you are
Like,
interested
feel
in
for
it, but if you are staying away
difficulty,
from
which
leaks,
will
you
even
can
react
feel
to
free to
bad
join the
user
Discord
tags. It's a
regardless.
bit like gaining
But
a
we
bad
are
habit,
using
since the
spoiler
ending
tags and stuff
challenge
like
called
that,
Hollow
so you can
Zero
go back
will
and look at them
actually
after
force
the
you to
fact if you
start
want to.
thinking. So you won't be able to just spam stuff and will need to react. Something that you might have decided to not practice during
They are
story
not
mode.
being uploaded by
I might be
me.
biased here because
Let that
in
be
this
stated.
beta, there's tons of free resources. Leveling up characters is super easy, and I don't expect the devs will actually give you free packages containing S-rank weapons and characters, as well as tons of materials. So yeah, maybe the game will be a bit harder on global, since the characters compared to the beta won't hit as hard and take more damage from the enemies, although things like enemy attack patterns that tell you when you can do a perfect dodge or assist are kind of easy to execute. It has very generous timing. All you have to do is listen to a specific sound and look out for a yellow light. So I honestly don't know what the actual difficulty of the game is, but I'm pretty sure
This is
Honkai
like
Star
Wuthering
Rail takes
Waves
large and
easy
active
mode or
liberties
some
with
shit.
any of their games.
No
That's why
disrespect to
they're
his Wuthering
literally
Waves, but
biggest
just in the sense of
practice
like with the
company in
mechanics and
world.
stuff.
So people who don't care about challenging content but want to engage with the story will most likely have a really easy time clearing those story and side missions. Especially
I mean, you just
considering
ran
that
into
if
the
you die to
laser,
your
dog.
characters, there's 3
You
revives
saw
you
the
can use
laser
to
coming.
resurrect your team, which just solidifies my point. And honestly, that seems fine. But I also understand the need for people who seek challenging combat, but need to wait until the unlock Hollow
For
Zero mode.
sure.
Still, if you make
And like I said, on the release of
Wuthering
Wuthering Waves, I hope you guys come hang out with us. We're gonna be playing all day, joining everybody's worlds and stuff like that. Just trying to like farm as much as we can. Just enjoying the game, exploring.
Personally, it took a lot of willpower to get through those TVs, but I am used to this kind of thing. Outside of YouTube, I actually play tons of board games.
See, I'm
Speaking
good
of
on that,
difficult
chat.
here, I mention this because there's a
I don't even know how to play
really
Monopoly.
important Facebook board gaming community, and that
And
you
y'all
need
let me
to
play
come
Zenless Zone
for
Zero?
X amount of times to fully appreciate it. This is legit the most stupid thing because, oh, you don't like this game after 5 hours? Well, actually, you need to play it for 40 hours to really understand the finer things it offers. No, it's bullcrap. If a person doesn't feel engaged with the game within the first few hours, why would they want to continue and
Exactly.
the so-called good stuff? And heck, they might not even like the good stuff when they're finally there. After all,
Games are not for everybody, bro.
Subjective.
Some people will genuinely just not like Wuthering Waves, and like that is okay. The same way some people genuinely just don't like Honkai Star Rail or Genshin or Seven Deadly Sins, Dokkan. It's okay.
Story or side missions that you're curious to learn more about, or it might be the city that you just want to keep exploring. For some, of course.
Hey man, I'm just trying to protect my ass. I don't want nobody in chat being like, Devil's posting leaks in his Discord. No, I'm not. Nah, nah.
But what does the Hollow Zero mode offer? Well, it's a roguelike experience that shares a lot of similarities with Star Rail's simulated universe. You choose a party of 5 characters you own, but then start with only one. You recruit some of the chosen characters and pick up various power-ups, which are pretty fun, at least for now.
Hashtag. Hashtag. Hashtag.
But I'm not gonna lie, the first stages are still pretty easy, so you have to wait until you progress your account level and unlock the 5,000 point challenge, because this is where things get interesting. So there's this boss at the end, this big pink creature. Like, I actually died to it quite a few times. And
What the fuck is that
to
AoE?
learn its attack patterns. There are things like seeking missiles you need to dodge in a specific way, attacks that you should perfect assist with your
Who are
team,
those people
and
shooting in the background? And do they do any damage? Or are they
will
just in the
almost
fucking
instantly
way?
kill your character.
Oh, there's
The only way to
walls.
survive it is
Why
to
can't he
actually
tank that
find
shit?
one of these
Bro, who is
characters that
he?
show up for a moment.
Oh, never mind.
This is where
He
I had
got
the most
fucking
fun.
destroyed. Did y'all
What
see
it
that?
does is that will almost instantly kill your character. And the only way to survive it
Look at this
is to
guy
hide
here on the
behind
left.
one of these barriers that show up for a moment. This is where I had the most fun.
He got fucking
to learn
sent.
to adapt to a big bad boss and utilize your whole team. What's even better, once you beat this challenge, you can enable up to 5 modifiers the next time you attempt it, and each modifier increases your risk level from low to extreme. So for example, one of these modifiers
So you can bank the game harder.
and more powerful forms, which to me sounds super cool. And right now I'm stuck on this mutated boss that I can't beat, mostly to lacking better gear, and honestly I'm busy.
Or is it
making
a
this
skill
video,
issue?
So I can't focus on fully clearing extreme difficulty, but I have already seen people who did clear it, so I'm really curious to see how long it will take for me to beat this hardest challenge that we have in the beta right now. But yeah.
But the
just
thing
follow
is,
hero mode.
one thing I'm wondering about, because like obviously these games, they will be compared at some point, right? Especially with the mechanics. I'm wondering if either of these games will be heavily weighted towards, oh, can you not beat this boss because of skill, or can you not beat this boss because your gear sucks? Because if it comes down to it, like I'm really hoping that it's not gonna be super heavy weighted towards gear. Because when it comes down to it, like both of these games do have counter and dodge mechanics and stuff like that that are a little bit, that not even a little bit, they're better than Genshin's. So when it comes down to it, I'm really hoping that like the game is very rewarding for your skill, other than, oh, you spent
Will
50
probably
days
be the
grinding
whole
out the
in-game
perfect
activity
crit
you
damage
play with
piece.
your characters. Although I have a slight suspicion that it will eventually become similar to Simulated Universe, where it's more of a grind than a challenge, and you just do it as a weekly activity, collect the rewards, and carry on. But I'm really
So your
hoping
hard
Nintendo
game mode
introduces
for this
other
game is
in-game
stuck on there like a
activities,
weekly
'cause
thing?
that would be awesome, since the combat in this game is pretty addicting, at least to me. And speaking of which, I think the combat is pretty balanced. For someone who just wants to experience the action without too much thinking, you can do it. It's not that hard to counter enemies.
You sent me the
and set up
vid?
combos,
Alright,
while those who want to practice some cool techniques, it's also possible. For example, grouping enemies, using one character's skill, and then quickly switching to other while the skill is deployed are just few tactics that I was utilizing.
I mean, that's
Although,
kind
I
of
have to
like
say that some characters feel
given
more
though. If you have a
complex
character that does AoE
compared
suck,
to others.
you might as well
But
use it to
as
group
much
up
as I love
enemies
the
before you
feeling,
do a
it
full
was my
AoE
favorite
attack.
from the previous beta test. His complexity wanes compared to Ellen's, who is now my favorite character to use because there's just so much going
She
on
a
in the game
shark?
compared to Billy's,
Is that
or
Gore,
any other
bruh?
characters. And it's not a coincidence. She's a featured S-rank agent for the beta, so you have to pull for her. Hence, I can imagine in the future, the game will keep on introducing more
I
and
get
more
it, you're a
complex
shark.
agents into the game. But I hope this doesn't mean characters from standard pool become
Her design's kind of cool. I like the neck thing that looks like a bottom row of Jaws.
The combat does tend to become repetitive, and using a fresh new character or building different teams seems like a crucial thing, at least for me. But yeah, if you want to learn more about combat, in my previous video I talked a lot about it, you can check it out here.
This shit
Although,
looks
one big
crazy,
difference
though.
compared to the last beta is that character elements, instead of their attack types, counter enemies. You see, every character has an attack type and elements, but in this current beta, enemies are weak to certain elements, while previously they were weak to attack types. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something here, but this leaves me
I
with a
mean,
big question.
do you
What's the
think it's
point of the
because they
action?
like were going towards the Honkai Impact 3rd route? Because is it Honkai Impact 3rd where we can get certain attack types and not elements? Well, some of them are weak against elements, but like mostly it comes down to like attack types, right? Like bio and all that other stuff. If I'm not mistaken.
Attack types, besides building team comps based on these passive buffs characters have. Like for example, including 2/attack type agents to give benefits for Ellen and so on. And also, in terms of
So this
team
is like
building
resonance.
complexity, it seems like mono teams are pretty popular right now, since there's this thing called attribute anomaly that you can build
Yeah.
up on enemies. So for example, ice agents can freeze enemies and shatter them for big damage, while physical characters can cause assault, which interrupts the enemy, causes a lot of damage, and reduces physical resistance for some time. If I'm not wrong, enemies can have attribute anomaly built up from several agents of the same element, so that's why mono teams like ice or physical are dominating Hollow Zero as of making this video. But one thing I'd like to mention is that the game does offer a training mode with a ton of options, so you can easily test your character's builds, especially considering we have some stats that is known very little about, like penetration, impact,
So
and
wait,
attribute mastery. So
out of this whole entire video, this is the one thing that I'm actually interested in. Why is this not like a thing in Genshin Honkai? So where you can like set like a certain boss that you've been fighting, set certain standards, and then go crazy beating they fucking ass for showcases.
and theory
Yeah,
testers.
like what?
And also Because due to various mechanics in the game, I can easily see multiple ways how you can build a character. For example, you could have one of them specialize in dealing elemental effect on enemies faster. The other one could be good at increasing enemies' days.
I don't know, man. And the audio cut out.
Hoyo games. However, you can pull from the banners
Okay, we're
either
back.
a weapon, a character, or a bamboo. These little robotic creatures are super cute and kinda act on their own as a fourth member of your squad. They provide powerful buffs, like increasing certain factions' critical rate by an insane amount, and they also have some kind of an ability that
I mean, I don't know, man.
energy. So, for example, just look at this butler I got. This little guy makes you a breakfast to boost your energy. It's super cute. But there is one big concern regarding bamboos. Since they have
I mean, it's not even just that. Like,
potentially introduce
even if like you're just doing damage testing, you could be doing team comp testing or team comp crafting. You know what I mean? You find out like there's just so many possibilities to like those type of mechanics. It's like if you play like a fighting game, right? When they put you in like a situation or a room like this with those applicable, you know, buffs and debuffs and, you know, certain scenarios you can set yourself up for. You can practice combos, you can create combos, you can go into combo creation, you can practice certain blocks, you can practice certain you know, switch out regiments and stuff like that. There's so many possibilities like that you can do in that room, like with like a game mode like that, or just a feature like that. A feature like that is goated.
So this means more summon currency you need to spend if you want the best version of your featured agent. But there's also the fact that at least in this current standard banner, bamboos are mixed together with weapons and agents, so you can pull any of them. Although for now, the only S ranks that you can pull are just agents, but it is harder to pull for an A rank agent because both weapons and
You backing me up, noodles? Nice. Hey chat, you want to fly and go up a mountain quicker in Genshin? Spend money. Easy dubs. Easy dubs. Spend more money.
bamboos are in the same pool. Overall, if you stayed till the end of the video, or maybe you just skipped to my thoughts, here's what I think about Zenless Zone Zero. I think it's a really fun game. If you
Yeah, we're getting all kinds of sponsors today, chat.
the first 10 to 15 hours of the game. You don't have to make it super difficult, but put more emphasis on teaching the game to players, instead of just letting us mash the buttons randomly before getting to the
You want to
actual
fly
end.
and
For
move
example,
quicker in
there was a
Genshin?
great
Spend money.
challenge I encountered at some point where you can only defeat enemies with chain attacks.
Easy
and
dubs.
A single hit from an enemy also defeats your character, so it was fun to experience combat in a new way. I mean,
I'm gonna be at work. I actually have to, after this video, I'm gonna have to end stream, sadly. So rip. I gotta get ready for work. I didn't expect these reaction videos to take that long.
It's not going away. It's too integral to the story, and too many things revolve around them.
We have 2 videos recorded
Either make TV
for this
more
week, so.
shorter, or yet again, keep innovating on the puzzle solving aspect, like compared to previous beta. Either way,
And you guys got to
I
be in
personally
them.
enjoyed the game very
So,
much,
pog.
especially because it has an amazing controller support. So my Xbox controller kept rumbling and reacting to various character and enemy animations. Basically, I think right now, this game feels like a fully blown console title that doesn't cost you a dime to try it out once it goes global.
Cost
But
you a
at the
dime to
same
get those
time,
characters.
I also hope Hoyo takes the early game feedback very seriously, because this is where people decide if they want to continue playing, and it doesn't take an analytics team to know that. Right now, I want to believe this game is for somebody who is willing to do puzzle solving and also enjoys fast-paced combat, which to me seems like a pretty niche target audience. However, this is also a Hoyoverse game. Some might play the game for the story, others might want
Some
to
would
hang
just
out in
play
the
it
city
just
and
because
enjoy
it's
the slice of
Hoyoverse
life
games.
events.
You
So,
forgot to
I
mention
can't
that.
wait to see how well the game fares after a few months when it launches. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I've been working on it for like a week now. It's my longest video, I think. So I'd really appreciate if you could press the like button and subscribe to my channel, because for sure, I will be making ZZZ videos once it goes global. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Interesting. Well, I mean, with that being said, I am personally not interested in Zenless Zone Zero. But if you are, let me know in the comment section. Leave a like. Say bye to YouTube chat. Appreciate you guys watching the video. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Yeah, I don't know I don't know, man. I'm good on that. I'm good on Zenless Zone Z. We got all these, and by the way, if y'all have stuff like that obviously isn't copyright struck that you guys want me to watch on stream, put it in the Discord. And hold on, can I open Discord without leaking stuff? Okay, we're good. Yeah, put it in the Discord. Put it in the what is it? I thought I had a watch on stream section. I'm gonna add a yeah, YouTube React videos. Yeah, just upload it in here, and I'll react to it on stream. But yeah, react to the video. Since 58 seconds long. Which one? This one? Sheesh. 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 I mean, it looks cool. Her outfit looks sick. Her outfit looks sick. Her outfit looks sick. It does look sick. It does look sick. Her outfit looks sick, bro. Both the character and the skin is free. Sheesh. That does look sick. That does look sick. That does look sick. But anyways, chat. Unfortunately, I do have to go. I gotta go to work. See, I don't know if y'all do want to stream. Want me to stream tonight and either record some React videos or just play some Honkai Star Rail, because I have not burned my stamina and it is currently overcapping in Honkai Star Rail. So we might just do that and save the recorded videos for tomorrow morning, since we already have 2 for this week recorded, because I do need to edit some of these. So if I do stream tonight, it will be Honkai Star Rail, but if I don't, we'll just stream tomorrow in the morning. I'll try to get up a little bit earlier because I started today a little bit late, but other than that, I hope you guys did enjoy the stream. If you did, make sure you leave a like. And if you did, well, if you are new to the channel, please hit the sub button. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs. We greatly appreciate it. We're currently at 680. Tell your friends to come hang out. Join the Discord. All that good things. But I will see you guys later. I love y'all. Have a good rest of your day. Eat some food. Drink some water. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.